It began with a single tweet. Stephen Curry, fresh off another record-breaking NBA season, posted a lighthearted video on social media. In it, he dribbled a basketball full speed down the court, releasing a three-pointer without slowing down. Fastest release in sports, he wrote with a wink emoji. Within hours, the internet had found its reply. Kylian Mbappé. The French football star reposted the clip, adding a laughing face and a short caption. "Nice shot, but can you catch me?" That was all it took. The tweet went viral, and suddenly, the world was asking one ridiculous but fascinating question. Who was the real speed king? Curry's lightning-fast shooting or Mbappé's unstoppable sprinting? A week later, ESPN invited both athletes to settle the debate. For charity, of course. Curry accepted instantly. "I'm in. Let's see if the football guy can handle some real speed." Mbappé responded with a grin. "Only if he brings his running shoes." The stage was set. The event was announced as Speed Duel, Curry versus Mbappé. Fans around the world couldn't believe it. Two of the fastest athletes from completely different sports about to go head-to-head. The rules were simple. A three-part challenge testing reaction, agility, and sprint speed. The day of the event, cameras surrounded the track. Curry arrived in his Warriors gear, looking confident but curious. "I know he's quick," he said, "but I move differently." Mbappé arrived minutes later, calm and smiling. "Basketball speed is short," he teased. "Football speed is forever." The crowd erupted. They shook hands at the starting line, two global icons laughing before the madness began. The world's greatest shooter versus one of the fastest footballers alive. Nobody could predict what was about to happen next. The first round was the reaction challenge. A light board was set up, flashing random colors that each player had to tap as quickly as possible. The test was all about pure reflexes. Curry stepped up first, bouncing on his toes, laser-focused. When the lights started flashing, his hands moved like lightning, each tap sharp and rhythmic. He looked like he was dribbling invisible basketballs. The crowd gasped at his precision. When the timer stopped, his score flashed. 87 hits in 30 seconds. Mbappé smiled, clapping for him. "Impressive, but now it's my turn." He stepped up, loosened his shoulders, and walked in. As the lights blinked, his hands exploded into motion. Fast, fluid, unpredictable. His speed wasn't rhythmic like Curry's. It was chaotic energy. When time ran out, his score appeared. 89 hits. The audience screamed. Mbappé bowed playfully. "Still faster," he said with a wink. Curry laughed. "Okay, football boy, you got me there." The second challenge was agility. Cones were placed in zigzags across a short track, and each athlete had to weave through them, carrying a ball from their sport. Curry with a basketball, and Mbappé with a football. Curry went first again, spinning, crossing over, dribbling through the cones like he was facing defenders on the court. He reached the finish line in style, finishing in 9.8 seconds. Mbappé stepped up next, the football glued to his feet. He sprinted through the cones so fast that even the cameraman struggled to keep up. His time? 9.4 seconds. The crowd exploded again. Curry laughed, shaking his head. "You're not human, man." Mbappé smiled. "Just warming up." 2 rounds in, Mbappé was leading. But the final challenge, the straight 100-meter sprint, was about to bring the real drama. The third and final round would decide everything. A pure sprint. A 100-meter race. No balls, no tricks, just raw speed. Curry stretched carefully, knowing this wasn't his element. "I shoot fast," he said, "not run fast." Mbappé grinned. "Don't worry, I'll wait for you at the finish line." The banter was playful, but the competition felt electric. Fans chanted both names as they took their marks. "On your marks, get set." The whistle blew. Mbappé exploded forward instantly, his stride long, smooth, and powerful. Curry pushed hard, pumping his arms and giving it everything he had. For the first 30 meters, it looked surprisingly close. The crowd gasped. Curry was keeping up. But then Mbappé shifted gears, like a rocket launching. Within seconds he was meters ahead, gliding effortlessly across the track. The moment he crossed the finish line, the stopwatch blinked. 10.7 seconds. Curry arrived just behind him at 11:30 seconds. The stadium erupted. Mbappé raised his arms in victory, laughing. "Speed is my kingdom," he shouted. Curry caught his breath, smiling. "You got me this time, but I'll beat you from half court." Mbappé nodded. "Only if I'm not running circles around you first." Then, in a surprise twist, Curry pulled out a basketball from his duffel bag. "Okay," he said. "Bonus round. If you hit a three-pointer before I can run from half court to the hoop, you win again." Mbappé agreed instantly. The challenge was set, and the crowd leaned forward in excitement. The bonus round started with laughter and disbelief. Mbappé, never having played basketball seriously, took the ball in his hands. "So, I just throw it in, right?" Curry smirked. "Yeah, just 23 feet away." Mbappé shrugged, lined up awkwardly, and threw. The ball soared high, then bounced off the rim. The crowd groaned. Curry, meanwhile, took off from half court like a sprinter, gliding to the hoop and dunking with ease. "1-0, he shouted proudly. But Mbappé wasn't backing down. "Again," he said. This time, he took a breath, squinted at the hoop, and shot again. The ball swished perfectly through the net. The crowd exploded. Curry's jaw dropped. "You're kidding me." Mbappé pointed to the rim, laughing. "Even footballers can aim." Curry ran up, hugged him, and said, "Okay, I see you, Speed King." Reporters surrounded them instantly. "Who's faster?" one asked. Curry smiled. "If we're running, he's faster. But if we're shooting, I'll win every time." Mbappé laughed. "That's fair. Different speed, same passion." The two champions high-fived as the crowd chanted both their names. The event ended, but the internet wasn't done. Side-by-side edits flooded TikTok. Mbappé's sprint cinched with Curry's lightning-fast release. The caption, "Two worlds, one speed." It was no longer a rivalry. It was a moment of shared greatness. A few days later, the story took over global sports media. Every outlet replayed their race and their friendly banter. Fans debated endlessly. Who was the real Speed King? Some said Mbappé's sprinting made him unbeatable. Others argued Curry's mental quickness and shooting precision was another kind of speed. But what everyone agreed on was the respect between the two. LeBron James tweeted, "Speed meets skill, legends in motion." Neymar commented under a clip, "Next time, I'm joining." Curry, "You won't catch me." Even Usain Bolt joked, "They're both too slow." The entire sports world laughed. Meanwhile, Curry and Mbappé privately stayed in touch. They sent each other workout videos and jokes. Curry even promised to attend one of Mbappé's matches in Paris, while Mbappé said he'd sit courtside for a Warriors game. Two different sports, one friendship born from fun and respect. In an interview later, Curry said, "It wasn't about who's faster. It was about showing that greatness looks different. Speed can be physical, mental, or even emotional." Mbappé added, "And sometimes the fastest thing is how quickly you connect with someone who shares your passion." Months later, at a charity gala in Monaco, the two stars reunited on stage. The host joked, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Speed Kings." The crowd cheered as Curry and Mbappé laughed and hugged. They presented a donation check together, money raised from their viral event. "It started as a joke," Curry said into the mic, "but it turned into something powerful. Competition can bring people together." Mbappé nodded. "And sometimes," he added, "speed isn't about who wins the race. It's about how fast you can make people smile." As they left the stage, cameras flashed. Their friendly rivalry had become a global symbol of unity in sports, a reminder that no matter the game, passion connects everyone. The world didn't really need to decide who the real Speed King was, because in that moment, everyone watching knew the truth. When Kylian Mbappé and Stephen Curry shared the stage, speed wasn't just about legs or hands. It was about heart.